Welcome to today's live. It's a little after 5. Let's see. Oh, my watch is upside down. Anyways, it's a little after 5 Eastern time. And for today live, I have a special guest for you, money mindset coach, Carolyn Labor. And she's going to be breaking down this money mindset issue for today. I know that a lot of it's mid-year to begin with, so it's a good time to have this conversation about money mindset because a lot of times we may be suffering from money blocks but don't know what this issue is. So either you're trying to make more money in your business or you're making a lot of money in your business and not able to keep it. I work with entrepreneurs from varying level, and sometimes people have made a lot of money over their lifetime, and then all of a sudden they don't have any money. And we all have heard about even athletes who make a lot of money, or even people in general, and they don't have anything to show for it. And this is pretty common among entrepreneurs and business owners because there's nobody trying to allocate our money for us, right? So we have to do that for ourselves. And a lot of time what entrepreneurs end up doing, they work for years and years and years without any proper planning, or they may have money blocks themselves and don't know it, and they end up with nothing to show for all the years they spent in business, or they struggle to grow their business just because they have money blocks. I think that the money block that I found that I had was was around charging people a certain amount, pricing and so forth. And I used to actually feel bad when I think about wanting to make a lot of money. I actually used to feel bad, or felt like I wanted to justify wanting to have money. So when I was speaking to Carolyn, she actually, let me know that that's also can be a part of, a money mindset issue, maybe from childhood or something that we've learned growing up that create this issue. So do you have any money blocks? Do you have money mindset issues? I'm going to invite her right now to basically, up all of this for us today. Let me see. Shamika, thanks for joining. Chad, thanks for joining. Let's see. Hey, how are you? I didn't hear you. Can you hear me?
Hey, Ronika, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. How are you?
Awesome. I'm fabulous. How are you?
I am doing well. So I was just telling them a little about what we're going to talk about. And you know that it's mid-year, so a lot of times we set goals, money goals, whether it's to keep money or whether it's to make money, or sometimes it's a combination of both. And money mindset can actually prevent us from accomplishing these goals. So I just wanted to provide this information to let and give people more confidence in whether it's to keep money or to make money, whichever their goal is, or it could
Yeah.
be a combination. So why don't you introduce yourself, and then we can get started in providing some information.
Awesome. Well, thank you for having me on. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm actually a fellow accountant as well. So, similar
Oh
background to you, different fields of accounting.
yeah. Different fields of
You're,
accounting. Oh, nice.
yeah, so you're a tax specialist. I'm more sort of management, corporate accounting, but
Oh
accounting
yes, yes,
nevertheless. So, always good to
yes,
speak to another accountant.
yes, it's
But yeah,
always
I've
good.
now left the corporate career behind, but yeah, still taking a lot of I guess, the money principles into what I do now, which is
Wonderful.
specializing in money mindset for entrepreneurs. So really helping them, break through and actually have success with their money outside of, just the strategy piece, like looking at, really like smart, talented entrepreneurs. Why are they not making the money that they want? So yeah,
Yes,
that's what I do. I help people bust through, what's really going on there, and we uncover some of these hidden money blocks.
yes. And I remember when we were speaking, you had mentioned that evil, feeling bad about even over
Mm,
justifying trying to desire, want money, someone feeling bad about this, is actually a money block that they're having that basically stem from childhood. Can you explain a little more about that?
Yeah, totally. Well, look, money blocks in really simple terms. There's so many like sort of complex ways I could explain it, but really simply, money blocks basically have the effect of they make people stay poor, as in, they actually can't make the money that they want, or they spend it all, or they get into debt. Or some people manage to break through that and they can make money, but then they still feel poor, meaning they experience extreme guilt around, making money, spending money, or just generally their relationship with money is quite negative. And
Yes.
they might have all the money in the world, but essentially what's happening is they're retaining the feelings of what it was like when they didn't have money, and they can't seem to break out of that. And eventually what happens is they get caught in like a cycle of self-sabotage, and they'll find a way to make that money go away.
Wonderful. And you mentioned relationship with money. So that's a key phrase. I'm thinking that, we normally don't think of money as something that, in that sense,
Totally.
we normally don't think about money, in that sense. So I guess if we start to think about, what's our relationship with money, then it will also help to improve. Do you think so?
Yeah, totally. And it's funny you mention, that it's an odd thing that, people who haven't really been exposed to the idea of money mindset will go, what do you mean your relationship with money? And I actually sent a broadcast out to my list earlier this week and asked people, what's your relationship like with your savings? So we were getting quite specific. And one person actually wrote back and commented and said, oh, I've been happily married for a really long time. And I went, I totally love that. Like, usually it's people are telling me something quite negative, and someone who's, quite a successful investor was saying, yeah, I'm happily married to money. So totally loved that. But yeah, look, it's this whole idea that, money is an energy. It's really, it's a medium of exchange. And we do have a relationship with money. And the way people know what their relationship with money is like, it's, if you have a great relationship with money, then it feels empowering, like it feels good to have it. You feel like, you're doing great things with it. It's really moving your life forward. If you're constantly worrying about money, you're like, where is that next client going to come from? Or, I even know there are people who go to the mall, they'll be at the checkout, they go and hand over that credit card, and that sick feeling of, oh my God, is that going to bounce? Like
Oh
that
my
is
God.
all, they're all signs of a
There.
negative relationship with money. And it's never really about what's going on in that specific moment. It's more to do with the energy that you're carrying about money, and that finds a way to project itself.
What about people who check their bank statements so much? Like they're constantly two, three times, once a day, checking their bank statement. Could it be that, they don't want some payment to bounce, or they're just checking thinking that someone's going to sweep their money away?
Look, it could be all of the above. Like that scenario that you described, that is classic panic and fear around
Fear,
money,
yeah.
usually stemming from not having much money, like growing up in childhood. So, it's this worry that, and this often happens to people who have a lot of money. They've just got
Yeah.
this underlying fear that, oh my God, what if it all goes away?
What if it all goes
What if it
away?
just disappears and I check my bank account and none of it's there? And that's why there's this, compulsive checking.
Yes, I know, on the internet, or, social media, you see, a lot of things about mindset and money mindset. But, even just, for myself, what does it actually mean to have or not have a money mindset?
Yeah, look, it's related very much to, you mentioned the term money blocks as well. And so like generally when we're talking about a money mindset, it is very much about your relationship with money. And it's
Mm-hmm.
about being able to clearly identify, because the trick with these money blocks is that they're hidden for most people. So you
Right.
don't know that you have them. All you know is that you feel good or bad about money. And, for most people, that usually stems from either having or not having money. But like I
Mm-hmm.
explained, you can technically still have money, but, feel bad about it as well. And so, yeah, your money mindset is all about being aligned with the energy of not only attracting money, but it's about keeping it, and then about, you know, feeling good about it. And so I like to say to my clients, you know, think about these three levels of a money mindset. You've got level one, which is making money. Like you need to be able to make money to,
Money,
you know,
right.
survive and have the
Mm-hmm.
life that you want. Then you've got to be able to keep it, because there's no point making all this money if you're going to spend it all, and spend
And then
more than what you
keep
make.
struggling to
And
make it, right?
yeah, yeah, it's no different. Like you were almost better off not making it, because now you've got bigger
Exactly.
problems. You've maybe
And
got
more
debt and
stress.
stuff, more stress, totally. And then, you know, because once you start making more, you probably spend more as well. So you introduce this new level of stress in your life. And then you've got the third level, which is what I call thrive. So this is where, hey, you've got the money, you're keeping it, you're investing it, and you feel amazing about it. So that in a nutshell is really what I call your money mindset. It's about being able to identify which level you're at, and then conquering each, you know, each of those levels, and really mastering your relationship with money.
Wonderful. I want to jump back to the second category that you said, that, they're
Mm-hmm.
making money, but also they're not keeping it. Because,
Yes.
even, working with clients, I do see this a lot, that, they're business owners. So once it's out of that struggle, and, revenues start increasing, um, you know, they start meeting, their revenue goals, that numbers start looking higher and higher, then that's when, the spending start, both, sometimes in the business, sometimes a lot, in their personal life. And
Yeah.
normally, you say, let them just go ahead and enjoy their money. But I think that the problem normally starts is, when is it going to stop, and when is it going to, not stop spending in total, but, start looking at, your business as, more of an investment, and how can you start making the money work for you? Because, I mean,
Mm.
I don't know what's your perspective on this, but it may be fine for them to go out and, take that urge and, go spend and buy some of those things that you always wanted to buy. But, at what
Yeah.
point do you stop? So what, those people, because those people can come from several different income levels, right?
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, I will often say to my clients, the best time to work on your money mindset is when you don't have any. When you're still
Mm-hmm.
struggling is the best time, because the more money you're making, if you haven't mastered your energy around money, the more damage you can do. And this is exactly what you're describing with the spending. So, you know, I hear this from a lot of financial planners as well. So I end up
Yeah,
working with some of their clients, because people come to experts like you because they want to
right.
have these brilliant strategies. They want to be clever with their money. And I'm guessing it must frustrate you when you see people, entrepreneurs, making really good money, and you give them this amazing strategy and they go and they mess it up, right?
They
Like
mess
they
it up.
can't,
And it happens
right?
so often,
Yeah.
even when it comes to like tax saving, that, you
Mm-hmm.
can show it to them sometimes, and sometimes, they're just not taking action, because in their mind, they're so focused on trying to focus on the next dollar that's coming in the door, while they
Yes.
don't really see that it's the same thing as keeping this dollar that they already have. So it's like,
Yes, totally.
all the energy is going to bringing money in, bringing money in, which is great. But, what's the balance to, if you're able to keep more, then maybe, you won't be as stressed to try to, bring, all that money in.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And you know, it boils down to, like, if we think for a minute about where these money blocks come from, like ultimately what happens is when we're in the early ages of childhood, like, you know, up to the age of like 5 or 7, our minds are really impressionable. So we're like sponges, you know, that's why kids can learn languages,
Yes.
instruments so easily. But, you know, on the other side, everything around you, even the bad stuff, we learn that really easily as well. And so people's money blocks and their beliefs about money are actually formed when they're that young. And what happens
Yes.
is we hold that in our subconscious mind like a sponge. And those beliefs are so strong that they end up forming part of your self-image. And
Yes.
unless you actively, A, even know they're there, or B, learn how to correct those beliefs and genuinely believe them, then what happens is, as an adult, you just find outlets to make that belief come true. So if your belief from childhood is, my parents struggled, money is bad, money's hard to come by, and I'm poor, it doesn't matter if you're making $500,000 a year, you'll
Yeah.
find some other way to still feel poor because
To
that's
still
what you
for
believe
four.
about yourself. And so that's what happens when people are out there on these crazy spending sprees. Like, sure, you might have your initial, hey, I've just come into all this money, I'm going to
Money.
treat myself.
Oh
And that's
yeah.
cool. Like,
That's
we all want
fine.
to
Yeah.
splurge once in a while. You want to get those Jimmy Choos, like, go for it. The point at which you want to stop that is when you realize or have some awareness that you're doing it to make yourself feel empowered. Because then that's the person trying to bust out of that childhood belief that I never had any money. But the pull of the subconscious mind is reminding them that, no, hang on, you are poor. Like, I've got to bring you back to that safety zone. And so that safety, in a weird way, is what makes them keep spending because it's familiar. It'll eventually get them to a state where, hey, they're not rich because they've stuffed up the great strategy that you've handed to them. So now they're back to square one. And that's really what's going on there.
When you were talking about, all, things that can stem from childhood and so forth, it just brings me back to this memory that, I feel most comfortable when I have money saved and when I can be saving money. And I think that's where that stemmed from because, growing up, we didn't have a lot of money. And I grew up in rural Jamaica. And in that, so my mom used to work and she used to come home and you have to like pay for lunch at school there. So she used to give us our lunch, give me my lunch money for the entire week, like, on Sunday. And I used to have to figure out how to allocate it for the 5 days you're going to school to take the bus, to pay to take the bus and for lunch and so forth. And I remember the first time it happened and I spent all my money on some toy. A vendor came to school selling toys and I spent all my money on toys. It didn't end well for the entire week at school. But anyways, I started like, it's kind of like I describe it like, becoming a frugal person, like always like making sure that I'm able to put, money somewhere because I just always feel like if I don't figure out where I'm going to put the money, it's going to go away. It's going to go away. And I literally will wake up at night and be like, oh, did I transfer the money to my saving? Literally up to this day.
Wow. And see, that is exactly how it happens. Like what you described, like when I start talking money mindset with people and we start to unpick where this came from, because usually when I ask people on the surface, like you don't know, it's not something we talk about, like you bury this stuff, right? But once it comes out and, you're having a good conversation about it where the energy is like freely flowing, people start to remember this stuff. And that's exactly what happens. People go, oh my God, like I have this weird memory that pops up every now and then. And what's really interesting about it is, it's not the actual circumstance. Like, you haven't had the exact same thing like happen to you today, but the energy you felt as a child is the same as what you're describing when you feel the need to go and check your, do some transfers or check your money in the middle of the night. So that energy that you felt when you were that young, you stored that and your body, your nervous system remembered that. And that's what needs to come up. So unless you learn how to clear that energy, it is there and it's going to keep looking for ways, to pop up. And I would say, Monica, you're one of the lucky ones that, okay, even though it was sort of an example of like the fear of not having money, you actually found a positive way to make yourself save. But for most people, they find something destructive to do with it.
I had to because when I spent it that time, I wasn't able to go to school for the rest of the week. And I wanted to go to school because there was no money left. Like when you live in certain places, when there's no money, there's no money. There's no credit cards. There's just no money left. But I mean, that's just so crazy because I'm the person that will wake up at 3 a.m. I just want to make sure I know that I have a plan. I know that
there you go. And now you know why.
For the money. That's just so crazy. But what I wanted to look at my next question that I have for you. So we do mention that, people get money blocks, just from various situations, from childhood, no matter what walks of life that they come from, that they can have these money blocks. So what are some of the things that they can do to start clearing, if you want to share some of those things?
Yeah, great question. Look, the first thing I say to people is with money, like part of the problem with, even though I'm going to almost contradict myself here. So even though I'm a huge advocate of, having a great mindset, like investing in your personal development, one of the big misconceptions that I feel misguides people is this really strong focus on like abundance, right? Abundance, prosperity, like they are great feel-good words. And
Yeah.
I'd say the energy of abundance is perfect for you when things are already going well.
Yes.
When
Yes.
things are not working out for you and you keep finding yourself broke, abundance is not going to get you out of that mess. And the reason it's not is because it's not specific to your money issues. So step one is actually, I know people can avoid dealing with money when things are good, but you've got to kind of step up, take a bit of ownership that, hey, this is my life and I want a different outcome, and get really specific with what's wrong with your money. Because money isn't like, even though it's an energy, there are specific types. You've got savings, you've got debt, you've got the income you earn, you've got income goals that you want to earn, you've got your relationship with how you spend money. And then you've got another form, which is toxic money. And that's usually stuff like, are you receiving like child support or compensation that comes with a negative relationship as well, because
Right.
that's another form of damaging money. So first of all, people have to look at where is the problem. And I would say 100% of the time, if the problem is debt, you've got to absolutely start with clearing that first, because that is the most toxic of like all the money energies. Like it's so crippling, and it's this thing that follows you no matter where you go. You go on holidays, your debt's still there. Actually, your debt probably gets worse when you're on holidays. But that would be step one. I would say stop going, hey, I'm abundant and I attract money, and stop writing $1 million on your wall. Like that is only going to work for you when you fix your relationship with money. So you actually get really specific about the problem and start addressing that problem. And so that's sort of like a real kind of practical thing that people need to do first up. The second one is, I would say, you've got to start introducing the right kind of energy, like into your day, back into your nervous system. So inject some of this abundance type energy. And the simplest way people can do that is I've got something that I do in my daily routine every day. And it starts off as simply as find 5 things every day that you're grateful for and write them down. And you might not genuinely feel grateful when you start, and that's okay. You just want to build the habit. But if you keep doing this, you're going to start feeling, when you really do feel genuinely grateful for something, you're like, oh my gosh, life's amazing. It might be the most simple thing, but you feel so happy and just at peace. That's what you want to tap into. And if you can do 5 things every morning or every night, then you're going to start to feel that energy. And that energy, that real feel-good energy, is how you want your relationship with money to be. And so this is a way to train your body to go, yeah, that's how I want to feel about money. And you'll start to learn how to do that.
So not only train your body, train your mind, your body as well.
Yeah, and I would say start with the body, because for everything, so here's the thing, right? You've got your conscious mind, your subconscious mind. And when you're going after things like, your goals, that's conscious mind thinking. But it's your subconscious mind that holds all of your negative beliefs about money. And it is going to beat the conscious mind every time. So I say to people, don't do the mind stuff, because it's more clever than you are. For everything you think you're, going to be clever about, your subconscious mind, that's that little voice that when you go, I'm a money making machine and I make $1 million a year. And that little voice that goes, no, you're not. Like, you're in debt. What are you talking about? That is the thing that's going to pull you away every time. So I'm like, you know what? Stop fighting it. It's more clever than you. You've trained yourself to be more clever. So let's find a different way in. And that's why I say start with your energy. Actually start with how you feel. Start with your body. And when you can change the way you feel, your thoughts are going to catch up with you.
Oh, wow, that is amazing. We're gonna have to continue that part of the conversation. And for entrepreneurs, especially business owners, why
Yeah.
is it important for them to have a good, money mindset? I think that, in my business, I normally try to work with people that, I call have I didn't say a relationship, but they have like a good
Mm.
sense of what they want to do with their money, because they're just easier to work with than,
Yeah.
people that I'm saying that, I'm saving you $50,000 and they wait until December 31st to return my call. Because, you can't do anything for those people, right? Um,
Yeah.
so I didn't know if I recognize it as a mindset issue or something, but for entrepreneurs, why is it so important for, us to have, good money mindset and money habits?
Well, you actually described like the very first reason I'm going to say something you said when we first jumped on the call, and that is being able to charge what you're worth.
Right.
So, I see so many entrepreneurs, and, you've said you do as well, where they get into business like you're doing it, for your freedom to build a better life for yourself, but also help people. And they'll, come up with this amazing program or deliver an amazing service and
Exactly.
then charge peanuts for it, or worse, they give it away for free and it totally devalues what they've got to offer. And
Exactly.
so that inability to ask for money, like it's not uncommon. It happens to so many entrepreneurs.
Oh yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
because of their money blocks, it's this guilt around, well, hang on, I'm supposed to be a poor person. Except they don't realize that's what their subconscious mind is saying. So
Saying
it
okay.
translates to, I can't charge people that much. People are struggling, people can't afford that. I've got to give. And, you're still giving, but you've got to be able to be able to build that freedom for yourself, but also make people value what you're offering. Because, as
Exactly.
you would probably see as well, if you don't charge for your services, people don't return your call, till
People
the
don't return your call.
31st of December. They're like,
Exactly.
it can't be
Exactly.
that good. It's too cheap. So, that is
Exactly.
sort of reason number one, like you're in business to make a difference. And then I think also, at a deeper level, like I talk about money being an energy, but when you speak to someone as well, like even if you're not consciously aware of this, you're always reading other people's energy. And if
Right.
somebody is constantly worried about how much money they've got, are they in debt? That's going to start to get in the way of like how you can deliver your service to your customers as well. So if you want to be a genuinely empowered entrepreneur that's making a difference to your clients' lives, then you kind of want to get your own housekeeping with your money taken care of.
Exactly.
You
And what
know,
about those who just always feel like they never can afford anything to begin with? They just never can afford anything that's, is gonna, improve their business, or anything, I mean, I don't know, some things that I hear entrepreneurs say that they can't afford. I'm like thinking, how is it even possible?
yeah, I know.
But
And but it's the
I
reality
mean, I
for
feel
so
bad
many
for saying
people.
that, but it's like, how is that really? Is it more of, you just maybe not, wanting to do something, or you truly can't afford it?
Yeah, look, to be honest, it's usually a combination of
Sure.
both. So
Right.
it's that they probably can't afford it because maybe right now, they are in debt, like they're in a bad spending pattern and they keep blowing the money on things. But I think usually what's really happening there, like the driving force behind that, is that it's that fear and panic around money. So they're panicked about, hey, being able to get that support that they need or pay for that strategy because they know
Right.
they're going to
Right.
go and spend that money on another course that they're never going to start. They're never even going to log into the portal. It's just going to make them feel good in the moment.
In
They
the
know they're
moment,
going to
and
blow
then
their money on other things.
exactly.
That's why they can't invest on the things that they need. And it's because they're caught in this cycle of self-sabotage.
Yes, and I also wanted to say, for seasoned entrepreneurs, you've been business owners, been in business for a while, so your revenue is growing. It may not be the multiple millions that you want it to be, but it's growing. You're making a lot of money. You already over your splurge, or are you still in your splurge? And when as we heard that it's okay to go ahead and have that splurge for a while, but when do you come back and start, as you were saying, get into the third aspect of it, which is thriving. investing, you know, saving money on taxes and so forth, start looking at, strategies that's going to help you, keep more of your money. Because those people in that bucket also, suffer from, that type of mindset issue, right?
Yeah, totally. And the first thing I'd say to those people is they're probably in the avoidance category. Like, when
Yes.
things don't feel good about money, you don't want to deal with it. Like, who wants to keep immersing themselves in, negative feelings? And I
Or
would say,
having
look,
way too
it's,
much fun, right? You don't want to
yeah,
deal with
yeah,
it.
totally. And
Avoidance.
that's what it
I
is.
think
It's
that's it. Yeah.
avoidance. It's,
Yeah.
keeping yourself so busy with like your spending or having fun or, that you're not dealing with the real problem. And so,
Right.
when, for those people, a small dose of the fear and panic sometimes is good. Like sometimes they need that credit card to bounce so that they go, oh my gosh, maybe I'm a bit out of control here. And in that moment, when that fear or panic hits, that's when you want to kind of settle yourself and just start to get some awareness about what's going on. And
Mm-hmm.
I think, it's as simple as people starting to ask themselves, like just say, what is my relationship with money? What's going on with me? Why am I behaving this way? And
What
if you
is my
start to ask
relationship with
yourself,
money?
yeah, you ask yourself these questions, you'll be amazed at how you put that out there. And then all of a sudden, you'll remember that time when you were at school and you were, you spent all your money on a toy. And these things will start to come to you. And then, you'll start to have an opportunity to then look at, do I want to do something about it? Like, has maybe this been a pattern my whole life? And maybe it's time for me to step up and fix this relationship.
Wonderful. I like that part so much that I'm going to actually edit my post to make that the first question. What is your relationship with money?
Awesome.
But thank you so much for joining me today and giving us
My
such
pleasure.
valuable information on money mindset so that we can clear money blocks. So how would people reach out to you if this resonates with them, and if they have additional questions that they have for you regarding your program or any money mindset issues that you're having?
Sure. Yeah, look, your viewers can absolutely just reach out to me on Facebook.
Facebook.
Just reach out, send me a message. You can go to my website as well, which is personalempowermentacademy.com. I'll drop a link below so people don't need to remember it. But I'd like to give all your viewers a free gift as well. So
Nice,
that
nice.
gratitude routine that I talked about, I've got a little ebook that explains exactly how you do it. It's super simple, and I'll drop the link below the post and you can go through, grab that. And literally, I know we're out of time today, but if we do this again, like that little routine literally changed my life. Like my
Wonderful,
income
wonderful.
just went leaps and bounds because of that. So it's so simple that people
Just
go,
simple but powerful, right?
it's powerful, it works. Like just start it and you'll see your relationship with money change.
Yes, I really love that you said that, yes, it's all about putting in your mind that I'm a I attract money, I do this, I do that, but rather change on how you try to to change the feeling in your body rather than trying to trick your mind, because you said that we've already had so much in our mind that we've already tell our mind what to think, right? So it's like so hard to
Totally.
reconvince it, that you have to like recondition your body in order for your body to start. I think you said that it's stored in your nervous system.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, absolutely. Yeah, and that's what it is. Just almost imagine it like these feelings that are just, running. And every time you go to do something with money, something pops up and goes, "Oh yes, I know
Exactly.
this. You're poor. Let me remind you." And
You
bang,
see,
people feel
medical
sick in the
terms already.
stomach.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's all tied together. Well, I want to thank his DR who connected us on Facebook and said
Yes,
that you'd be
Izzy, thank you.
wonderful to talk about this topic. And I am truly grateful to speak with you last week and also to have this conversation. So thank you so much. I know that
Likewise, my pleasure.
it's early morning where you are right now, so you're just getting your day started, and I'm just ending mine.
Yes.
Wonderful. So take care. You can go ahead and
You
post the
too.
link. I tagged you in this video, and we'll keep in touch.
Awesome. Absolutely. Thanks for having me on, Ronica. Have a good one.
Thank you guys for viewing today. If you have any question, you can go ahead and reach out to Carolyn on Facebook. Thank you.
Bye.